Long-term review on Duotone Unit 2022. This is a standard non-D-Lab version and I have a 5 meter. I got the wing roughly less than 3 months ago and been using it quite often. And so I think I have enough information to share the feedback, all the good, the bad and the ugly. Yeah, there is ugly in this part. Overall, when I got the wing, it was like the best wing I've ever tried. I've tried Nash North wings before, and this one with the new handles, it was just way superior. Handling, the tension in the canopy is better, the overall shape is very good too. Only once in a blue moon I would do like a wingtip touch in a way for something, but it's nothing major. The canopy tension is really good out of the box, and it stays that way even like after 3 months of using it pretty often and like pumping and giving it some stress. Yeah, the canopy holds up. Any other brand I tried before, all the wings backed out, and this one still stays in shape, so pretty impressed. They did a pretty good job. Not perfect, but yeah, it's probably best in the market for canopy wise. Overall stitching pretty good. Yeah, there is some fluffing out, but nothing major. Now moving on to the front handle. The front surf handle or D-power handle, whatever you call it, is pretty flimsy and too soft. It's already fluffing out at the stitching points. I don't think it's gonna break, but it's not a good choice for the handle. It should have been more rigid like any other brand is using. They were probably trying to save some weight. I don't know exactly the reasoning behind. Wing handling and like in jibing or tacking, it's very nice with the handles. It just makes it so much easier. Close out of stitching job, there is no complaints here. And as you can see, the tension, yeah, after like even 3 months of hard use, the tension is still there. Not as tight as brand new one, but close, very close. Yeah, any other brand would already backed out. Improvements they could make is the inflate-deflate valve. It's not the best choice. Instead, they should have used this one. It's way better, way easier. There's nothing to break. No need for connectors. No need to screw anything. Yeah, sometimes when you get sand in there, it gets stuck and it doesn't rotate the cover, so it's like just headache. The dump valves. Overall, the idea is pretty cool to have them on the strut and at the wingtip. It makes packing much easier and cleaner, but on the downside, it's very hard to open when it's cold. And I'm not sure about longevity. It also adds all the extra headache if you need to repair and take out the bladder. There's a good chance to put some sand every time you open close at the beach and the sand goes in the bladder. You roll the wing, no matter how clean you try to roll, it always has some sand, and when you roll in one tube, it basically some sand gets in every time, tiny amounts. It's neglectable at this point, but maybe there is a better way to implement such a system. It would be nice to have some kind of just push button on and off instead of this. Some room for improvement, definitely. The handles are the best on the market for sure. The oval shape, and they covered with some kind of like rubberized material, very similar to what you have on a kite bar. It's just perfect, yeah, the shape and that material, and also the length. The length of the handle and the length between the handles, basically where they mount it on the wing, is just perfectly worked out, so it's very nicely done. The only thing that they can improve for handles, it's these mounting points, right? The plastic mounting points. It's not super hard, but it's also not like a rubber. If you do a stick bug start, or you often hit the board with the handles when you try to climb, it might ding your board because it's hard enough. Something to keep in mind. And also during some weird wipeouts, if the handle catches and hits your head, you'll notice it. One time it happened and I could feel it through the helmet, so it's something to also keep in mind, that the handles can hit you pretty hard. Depends on the situation. It would be nice if they were covered with some kind of rubberized material or some foamy, spongy material to protect. It's some room for improvement. But other than that, yeah, they are perfect handles. Now moving on to the ugly part. They are ripping off handles. Basically, the handle patch meets with the strut patch. There is a weak point, and again, this is for non-D-lap version. For D-lap, seems there's no such an issue. In this case, where the handle patch meets with the strut, that stitching around the strut and the handle has a weak point, and depending on how much pressure you put in your wing, how hard you pump, how often you use it, conditions and such, it weakens over time. So in my case, I was just pedaling out through the shore break. It was big shore break, yeah, but I've taken other wings through similar shore break. I've broken wing lace, but never damaged the wing. Anyways, so in this case, I'm pedaling out and my front handle just got ripped off. Some white water was on top, but nothing like major. It's like massive damage to the wing. And I'm pretty sure I would have ripped off the handle while pumping on the same day. It just happened that some extra pressure in the bladder caused that weak point to tear, and then probably the water picked up and ripped off the rest. So this weak point, I was very surprised to discover, because I've taken wings, like I said, in similar conditions, pedaling out, and like some white water wing. In some cases, wing would bang like almost in half and nothing would happen to it. But this one just decided to pop. So I started looking around, and so it looks like there are many people with similar issues. How I ripped off mine. So as you can see, yeah, this weak point where the handle patch meets the strut. This is all the ripping off from the inside. Yeah, it looks pretty messy. Yeah, so one case, I think another one is I found some stand-up pedalboard. It's another case, basically ripped off at the same place. I think this one while pumping. I'll probably leave the links in the video description so you can read. Another one, you can see, yeah, it's the same spot. This one, I think French forum, yeah, French, and another one, yeah, on Facebook, ripped off, pretty much the same spot. So it's not a single occurrence, and I'm pretty sure it's not the last one. And some people rip off the front, some people rip off the rear handle, but basically at the same spot. So that spot is like a weak spot in material, and again, depending on various conditions and stress, overall stress to the wing, it's probably just a matter of time when you're gonna rip it off. I don't know if it's a particular batch or a particular color. We have no idea what's common in here. The ones I found online, they're all purple color, so I have no idea if it's in common or it's just the only color that was distributed during the time frame. I have no idea. One could argue that they sold a few thousand of these units, and we found only 4 documented cases with ripped off handles. But yeah, again, this is only documented. I don't know how many undocumented, and plus it's a fairly new product. And like I mentioned before, the issue happens over time. It needs to develop some stress, and then it rips off. It doesn't rip off right away, so it's just a matter of time. It's my 2 cents. Yeah, I'm not an expert, and we live in a free world, so it's just my opinion. Yeah, you guys take it as is. And to add to the stress points, whenever I started jumping, I just do normal rides. Use the wing and pump it hard, especially when I use my sinker board, but nothing that other wing cannot take, so it's not an excuse to rip off. Overall, it's a great wing. Yeah, I really like it. Best I've tried, like I said. But due to this issue with ripping off handles and dealing with a quote-unquote warranty, which is non-existent for Duotone in my case. So it's up to the consumer to make a wise choice what to get as your next wing. As for the repairs, yeah, it's like cost anywhere from 200 to 300 probably Australian dollars to fix it, depending how much you ripped off, what valves you rip off, and things like that. Shout out to Moti from Wake and Surf. He's done a superb job repairing the wing. It's like much stronger than it was before. After the wing was fixed, it's still as good as new. Pleasant to ride. And the only thing is like my rear handle probably will rip off as well at some point, as I can see some funky stuff already going on there. So I should have probably asked during the repairs to redo the handles completely, but we'll see. We'll probably deal with it next time. And overall, like I said, I really like the wing. There is definitely room for improvement in a few minor areas, and the major area is customer service, warranty for Duotone. It should have been a recall or some kind of, I don't know, offering free repairs, because it's just the beginning. Yeah, I think the more you use it, the more you put stress, the more we'll see ripped off handles. It's just my opinion. Yeah, as I said. Until next time.